Number 7. People keep asking me how we get from here to the transition plan physically. Can you help how to answer that issue? Because my first answer is through education, and that seems to not be enough for most people. Let's see here. Well, I think I've talked about this a few times. The transition begins with a shift in values and an increase in understanding what is technically and scientifically possible on this planet and within the human species. In other words, and within human behavior. We have tons of ignorant restrictions that have been perpetuated in our minds to assume that A, there's no food, not enough food to feed people. B, it's a set human nature. Religion's done a great job of making people believe that good and evil, and that some people are just bad, some people are good, and that's that, and you can throw these people in prison or execute them, and these other people deserve this, this, and this. And these types of distortions have to be overcome on some level before any kind of real physical transition can begin. More beyond that, in time, as denoted, a research facility will be established, and this will be very important. The Venus Project, as it exists in Florida, is a first step in that. However, the next step is really something that's much more high-tech on some level. We have to show how this stuff will operate. We have to get people to walk into the facility and say, wow, even if it's a miniature version of it, and say, wow, this really can work. We really do have the ability to do this. Why are we bothering with our current outdated system? Why do we have war? Why are 1 billion people starving to death on the planet? These are the questions that will be raised in people's minds once they become aware of the possibilities that we've denoted. So that's the first step. And then once that type of interest is generated and the numbers come high enough, then we start to put pressure on the established orders. And that can't be talked about right now because it's complex and it's controversial. And I would say forms of protest are certainly relevant, but it could go far beyond that. There could be rejections of the system. This is something I'm not willing to go into right now because it's not worth speculating upon, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea and start putting forward aggressive moves towards the establishment when they can't get away with it. The only way you're going to get away with certain types of moves against the establishment is when you have the numbers behind you to do so. And as a general example, which I've given before, if you live in America and you have a federal income tax, if 51% of the U.S. population, probably not even that actually, if 35%, I suspect, of the U.S. population refused to pay their income taxes, there's nothing the government could do. They wouldn't have the power, they don't have the people to go through and audit and sue every single person. That would be a tremendous 100 million people, 110 million people. They wouldn't be able to do it. They would have to revise the system. And that's the type of power that is necessary. And I apologize if that seems far-fetched, but it's only far-fetched if you decide it is.